you the one I've been waiting for? You might be. I hope so. It's been so many cycles since I was her. Do I even still remember Hope? I wasn't sure you'd ever turn up. The odds just kept getting longer. I guess I've been losing faith, while they've been gaining power. You have to reach me.
And quicker than you know it, I got most of my day one necessities, a pickaxe, an axe, and some clothing. And after failing to beat up a parasaur, I got an explorer's note which gave me 12 levels. My main goal for day one is to get a pterodactyl with a saddle, so I started killing these turtles which drop keratin, which is needed to make the saddle. I also used the hide I got from killing the turtles to make new leather armor. After finding my first pteranodon, I quickly bowled it, clubbed it, and then realized it's level 10, but I still tamed it. And after slaughtering some more turtles, I had all the resources necessary to make the Pteranodon saddle. Now I just had to wait till it's tamed. These trilobites drop some very important late game and early game resources, so I killed a few of them. My Pteranodon was done taming, so I saddled it up and went looking for a better one. After just a few Pteranodons, I found a level 60, which I thought was okay. It's day 2 now, and my new pterodactyl was tamed, so I put the saddle on it and just kind of left my other one behind. With my new Pteranodon, I went to get some explorer notes around this mountain. After leveling my pterodactyl, I went to look for a good base location. I eventually settled on this place in between two mountains. I killed a few tech dinos and then set up my base. The first thing I did on day 3 was learn a bunch of engrams and craft new gear. After being disappointed by a blue job, I added water tanks to my base to capture rainwater, and I also did a metal run. When I was coming back to my base from the metal run, I spotted a level 145, barely 200 meters away from my base. After crafting flak armor, I noticed there was a level 20 aloe below my base, so obviously I tried taming it. After many arrows, it finally knocked out, and when it tamed, I named it Shredder. Day 4, I crafted a long neck rifle and immediately started grinding for tranq darts. Day 5, I started looking for decently high level RGs, but literally couldn't find any that were above like 100. But just as my hope was running out, I found a level 90, and I thought that was pretty good. I started tranking the RG, but that has its own difficulties because my pterodactyl for some reason decided it just wants to walk forward for no reason. Eventually it started flying away, so I had to try and hit it, but of course the long neck's accuracy is straight out the garbage. Eventually it got knocked out, and because I didn't have any cryopods when it tamed, I had to do this to get it home. After what felt like a century, I finally got the RG home, but it was already becoming late, so I couldn't go for a metal run. On day 6, it didn't look like there was gonna be a lot of action, but then this happened. There goes my aloe, my armor, and my will to live. Thankfully I had a bed at my base, so I was able to use my RG to get my stuff back, but this really shouldn't have happened. After repairing my armor, I set up a taming trap at my base to hopefully catch the wolf. It didn't work and just caused more problems. Oh, and did I mention that I live very close to the snow biome? The wolf actually almost managed to kill my pteranodon here. So let's all hope day 7 will be a lot better, eh? Yeah, that is not a very promising start. See, that is way better because that is actually a tame I might need. I found a level 95 mammoth and decided to try and trank it. After a long time of trying to separate it from its brethren, it was finally safe enough to knock it out. After I knocked it out, I gave it berries and left it alone for 1 second and it already got eaten by a Yudi. I guess my new priority is making a fur armor set. I even went out in the middle of the night to try and get more pelt. I guess that 1 Yudi is all I needed to complete my fur armor. And obviously I tried finding a high level mammoth. Eventually I found this level 130 mammoth, so obviously I removed the threats around it and started tranking it. Once knocked out, I began killing a lot of things around it. Am I doing something wrong? For some reason the mammoth gets way less wood than a metal hatchet. I keep saying that the mammoth is such a good wood farmer. At least it can help me with farming narco berries. Day 9 I went full Bob the Builder mode. After finishing the outside of my base, I started moving around furniture. I reserved the top floor of my base for industrial structures, such as the fabricator or the chemistry bench. My next goal will be either the chemistry bench or the industrial forge. I ended off this fabulous day with a lot of gunpowder crafting. Day 10, I went out looking for beaver dams and actually found one. I checked the hidden lake for some beaver dams and managed to find one. I also managed to find some plant species X seeds, and I also tried taming a tapejara. When I got home, I set up a plant species X. Remember the level 145 Rex from earlier? Well, it is now right in front of my base. Obviously this is not a big deal as I can just lure it away, but this is obviously not a long-term solution to the problem. I'll tell you what is a long-term solution to the problem though. Taming it. I feel like every one of us has used this Rex trap design countless times, so I don't need to sit here and explain to you how it works. Day 12, I tranked out the Rex and used prime meat to tame it. When it finished taming, I named it Shredder after my fallen aloe and went back to base. I crafted its saddle and went to ravage the snow biome. After I had my fun, I once again tried taming a tapejara. Day 13, I gave my Rex a makeover. And then I got blessed with this drop. And then I tamed a Dodic. And then I finally gathered up my resources to make some cryopods. You'll see soon enough why I needed cryopods. Megatheriums are great chitin farmers, and chitin is used in making cementing paste, and I happen to live close to a cave that has a lot of insects in it. So naturally I need a Megatherium. The snow was never a good place to look for megatheriums in the first place. I should not have gone here. But I guess I didn't know that, so I spent the entire day worthlessly going around the entire snow biome looking for high-level megatheriums. Day 15, I was still looking in the snow biome like an idiot. But eventually I gave up and tried taming a Tapajara again. Finally, I used my last brain cell to look in the redwoods, and what do you know, there's a level 100. Trapping these things is pretty easy. You just gotta land right next to them and hope that they stop so you can surround them with billboards. While I was tranking it, it managed to break free from the trap and went on a rampage. I guess it somehow managed to kill an insect and now it's really mad. It started attacking a Diplo which managed to stun lock it so I could trap it again. This thing actually took a surprising amount of tranks. As you can tell by the items in my inventory, I apparently managed to kill an Alpha Carnor somewhere along the line. Now I do remember this happening, but I don't actually have the footage of it, so I guess you just gotta believe me. Day 16, I crafted a Megatherium saddle and flew out to the central cave. But before I entered the cave, I had to snipe an Alpha Raptor. As you can see, the Megatherium is incredible at harvesting chitin, and because this cave is so close to my base, I don't have to worry about that ever again. And obviously I made sure to get the artifact and the explorer notes inside the cave. When I returned home, I crafted a metal shield and a lot of trank darts. If you didn't know, the island has heat waves, and one is happening right now, so I have to wear cloth armor. I killed an Alpha Raptor and got a pretty good metal hatchet, and yes, the metal pickaxe that I got, the Ascendant one, is also from the Alpha Carno kill. I placed down 2 feeding troughs and repaired the damaged structures in my base. And after that, I farmed some Nocroberries. Day 17, I did a huge metal run. Seriously, it almost took me the entire day harvesting and dropping off all the materials. And for the rest of the day, I just crafted cementing paste and trank darts. Day 18, I went on an obsidian run to craft polymer. I was able to craft just the right amount of polymer I needed for the industrial forge. I also did a fat stone run. I guess it was just another day of crafting cementing paste. And I even had to get crystal. And at night I spotted a red drop all the way over in the redwoods biome. Day 19, I grabbed the red drop and was honestly kind of underwhelmed. Tactical waste of time is what they call it. After that, I made a cooking pot and made some dye. As you can see, I'm very close to finishing the industrial forge. I just need 1,500 more metal. I ended up using the dye to paint my Rex's tech costume. I always run out of water, so I made 10 more water tanks. I started off day 20 by grinding the resources needed for 4 extra forges, which would double my metal production. Because I was pretty close to finishing all the resources for the industrial forge, I just sat around my base waiting for all the metal to cook. I know this is probably a pretty disappointing day, but sometimes that is what you have to do to progress in this game. As soon as the sun came out on the next day, I tamed a Phiomia. I don't know why I did this, but I made an artifact pedestal. And then I spotted your mom below my base. I made more gunpowder and then just waited. And then I waited even more, and oh look, it's already the end of the day. Guess what I did on day 22? Besides collecting some of the metal from my forges, I did absolutely nothing. Nah, I'm joking, I actually managed to craft the industrial forge today. I've been working to get this thing for a long time now, so it better be worth it. The first thing I did after placing it is move all the metal to it. Alright, now buckle up, because day 23 is a big one. After moving all the metal to my industrial forge, I fired it up and then crafted some ladders to get up there. After that, I finally made a generator with cables and lights. I placed the generator in this perfect spot below my staircase. And now it's time to start the grind for the chemistry bench, but first I made some AC units because with the industrial forge running above my base, it's pretty hot in here. I placed the AC, fended off intruders, and then crafted more trank darts. I also made a compound bow along with metal arrows. And then it started raining, which is a blessing from the Lord because of where I live. I then went to a place where I knew there was beaver dams, but I first had to wait for these megatheriums to calm down. As luck would have it, the megatheriums took out all the beavers, so I was able to steal the cementing paste without anything attacking me. I started off day 24 by logging in and checking what I needed to make the chemistry bench. I needed polymer, so I went to get obsidian. I was then able to craft all the polymer I needed, but now I need more cementing paste. I randomly crafted gunpowder and then farmed stone. I then went to look for an Anki, but then found an Alpha Raptor. I continued looking for an Anki, but then found a very colorful Rex, which I found strange because I've never seen one of those before. When my cementing paste finished crafting, I was able to make the chemistry bench. Well, it's safe to say that this thing will be a game changer. Day 25 was the first time I used the chemistry bench, and it is very good. I then made an industrial cooker, but I had no idea where to place it. After demolishing all my forges, I found a nice place for it. I crafted a canteen and then gave myself a haircut. I then found another colorful dino. I don't know where this sudden surge of colorful dinos came from, but it is pretty nice. Well, anyways, I went to take out the Alpha Raptor that was blocking my Anki spawns. I then collected a supply crate, which was definitely not worth waiting so long for. This 200% metal pickaxe is probably the best thing I've found in this entire series so far. And I spent the rest of the day unloading metal. Day 26 and I'm getting desperate. I was gonna find that Anki. It got to the point where I was looking around the volcano, but just as all hope was almost lost, I found a level 105. I quickly tranked it out and then waited for it to tame. It was almost the next day when she decided to tame up. The reason why I wanted an Anki is because they're pretty good at harvesting minerals, which includes obsidian. And obviously obsidian is used in making polymer, which I need a lot of. Polymer is a very important mid and late game resource which you need to make stuff like weapons and armor. And a fabricated sniper rifle is one of them. And for the rest of the day I decided to expand my base with metal spike walls and stone gates, which is very expensive, and I'm not talking about the spike walls, I'm talking about those gates. Those things are really expensive. By the next day, I was still not done. This footage here is from day 26, but I forgot to show it, so I'm gonna show it right now. As you can see, I got some insane Ascendant flak boots. Like, I'm talking insane. Anyways, back to the future, I was now done with my base expansion. I had to move a feeding trough because these dinos over here weren't getting enough food. Riot armor is the best armor I currently have access to, so I made sure to craft a bit of it. I then tested out some helmet skins. I honestly thought the clown one was pretty good, but I just thought it looked a little bit weird. I crafted a lot of narcotics because I had something big planned for the next few days. But in true 2023 YouTuber fashion, I'm not gonna show you it, so you just have to keep watching and give me more watch time. Thank you. It's day 29 and I'm comfortable with all I had planned out and all I had prepared, so it's time to reveal it. As you know, in this game we need artifacts to summon bosses. All the artifacts are hidden in caves which are protected by creatures. And 2 of those caves happen to be underwater. So to put it simply, in order to beat the game you need to go underwater. I decided to tame up as many of these dolphins as I could find. I then sniped a megalodon, but it didn't care. The next day I managed to tame 2 megalodons. Because of the high level of this megalodon, I decided to make it the new pack leader. Basilosaurus usually have a lot of mantas around them for literally no particular reason, so I had to get rid of those before I could tame this one. And after killing all the mantas, taming the Basilosaurus was pretty easy. Now this may look like a pretty dangerous situation, but this was actually perfect. That right there is a Mosasaurus, and it is the second step of my underwater plan. But first we have to fight these eels. There's an invisible barrier that stops Mosasaurus and other deep-sea creatures from going up too high into shallow waters, so I was able to stay above that barrier and trank it. This Mosa was a level 50, but somehow it got knocked out pretty fast. Now, I'd actually prepared for doing this in the preparation. I crafted a Mosa saddle, but I forgot to take it with me, so I had to cryo the Mosa and fly home to get it. Day 31, I finally got the Mosa saddle and was able to use my underwater Giga. If you're looking for rare underwater creatures, the ocean behind the snow biome has usually got what you need. I killed a Basilo, got a ton of oil, and then murdered the Alpha Lead Sectus. Do you know what an Ammonite is? I do. The last time I seen one was over 2 years ago. I don't think I'm ready to explain the third step of my plan just yet. Oh, is it underwater compilation time? Day 32, the first thing I did was name my tribe Dino Bender. I hope people understand the reference. Finding this underwater loot crate initiated the third step of my plan. First off, it's not the pump shotgun, but it's the Tuso saddle. I want to get a Tuso. And that Alpha Mosa I just tried fighting, it disappeared. I have genuinely no idea where it went. I guess now I'll just try and get a Tuso. Oh, there it is. That was actually pretty easy. And so should be the taming process if you do it right and aren't overweight. The Tuso absolutely slapped the crap out of my Mosa, so I gotta heal it up for a little bit. This Tuso was only level 10 and I'm not happy with that. The corners of the map are usually the best place to find stuff like this. And this time I made sure I wasn't overweight. I had to quickly float up to the surface to swap the saddles and crown my Mosa. It was honestly so relieving knowing I was now the strongest creature in the entire ocean. Not even the dang jellyfish could hurt me, I'm invincible! For some reason I was genuinely convinced this was an Alpha Tuso and spent like 5 minutes looking for the bag that I dropped because I was concerned I lost the alpha drops. Day 34 I was pretty much done with the ocean. There's nothing to do here except for maybe going into the caves and killing alphas. Actually, there is one thing I have to keep going into the ocean for, and that is black pearls. I found another level 75 Tuso, but I couldn't be bothered taming it. After that, I surfaced and left for home after 4 long days of ocean exploring. Day 35, I got home and stored away all the items I got, and there was a lot of those. And yes, as you can see, I always made sure to keep the apex drops whenever I killed something that would drop those. While I was looking at the ridiculously overpriced shotgun, my Pteranodon got killed. After getting my revenge, I converted all of my trank darts into shocking trank darts, which are even more potent. With all those shock darts, I'll be able to tame a Giga, and don't get me wrong, I would definitely tame one if I actually would find one. After all my darts finished crafting, I killed my 50th Alpha Raptor. And then I set out looking for male Rexes to start breeding boss dinos, and then I found the colorful Rex again, which I thought had died. These shock darts are wonderful, let me tell you. Even after taming it with prime meat, the stats were naturally bad, but that's okay because I just need to breed out the stats from the female. Before going home, I grabbed some crystal, then started breeding my first Rexes, and then realized I'm gonna need a lot more ACs. Day 36, I made 4 ACs, placed them down in the middle of my base, and then started hatching my Rex egg. But while farming stone, I almost got assassinated. I used the stone to craft cementing paste, which I used to make a fridge. I then realized I could incubate Rex eggs on the lower floor, which is very useful because the upper floor is a bit cramped. Not too long after that, my first Rex egg hatched and I thought it had the good stats, but then I realized it didn't. And this is my treasure storage. Keep looking. I know you're jealous. What I was actually doing here is coming to the realization that I'm gonna need a lot more space in this house to place down vaults. My compost bin finally made some fertilizer, so I put it in my already existing plant X. And then I had to yeet another wreck. For some reason, baby dinos drop primate when they're harvested, so I present to you my new food source. I feel like the game is giving me exactly what I don't want. This Rex literally has all the bad stats. I think my breeding stats are a little bit overpowered as I'm already starting to collect Rex eggs. Remember how my Pteranodon got killed? Yeah, I also forgot as well. Well, I'm looking for a new one right now, and not just one, but a breeding pair. Even with all these Pteranodons over here, the best one I could find was level 95. I then found a level 60 male completing my breeding pair. You'll see soon enough why I need a breeding pair apart from, you know, an infinite supply of Pteranodons, but first these things take forever to tame. Day 38 I got home and bred the Pteranodons and started hatching more Rex eggs. This is proof that I actually have a better melee stat, and it is honestly quite the high number. I mean, obviously I want the higher level stats even on the Pteranodons. I finally managed to get all the stats on one baby, but it was female. I still kept it. The next Pteranodon actually had all the good stats, so I kept it, but my OP breeding stats will later come back to bite me in the butt for this one. The Pteranodon grows really fast, so I don't think it's gonna take even 7 minutes, so I can't do the imprint. You really gotta be careful while making your breeding settings. I guess today was my lucky day because I managed to get the male Rex I always wanted. I'm planning on trying to fight the monkey and the spider at the end of this video, so I'm gonna need some good Rexes. Day 39 didn't start off so well. I sadly had to repurpose Shredder as a female breeder, so the day wasn't going too well. Once my Pteranodon was finished, I saddled it up and then went to collect some explorer notes I knew of. If you didn't realize what I just did there, I leveled my Pteranodon mainly on movement speed, so now I have a really fast traveler. I feel like this one speaks for itself. I should either completely stop collecting jobs or make a grinder. I then made a whole lot of temporary storage. I then hatched my first boss Rex and another breeder. While my Rexes were growing up, I finally decided to expand my base. I wanted to make a nice glass feature, but then I realized how expensive greenhouse walls were. So I guess farming is on the list now. I now present to you my new storage room. The only reason why it could be impressive is because it was so expensive. I set up another plant species X to protect my Rexes. My first boss Rex had fully matured now, so I crafted a saddle and then killed some things. In many 100 days videos, the bases don't really get shown that much, so I'm gonna show you mine. I don't know if you realize this, but I have been hatching T-Rex eggs the entire time. From now on, I'll only hatch 2 boss Rexes at a time to make the crafting of the saddles way easier. I then realized that I didn't have that much chitin left, so I went back into the cave with my Megatherium. I then emerged from the cave with an unholy amount of chitin that will hopefully last for a bit. I crafted a ton of cementing paste because I was gonna make vaults. Can you guess what I stored in my first vault? Day 43 I crafted narcotics just because I felt like it. I made more gasoline and then went to level up my 2 new Rexes in the snow biome. Well, that surely was fun, but now it's back to the stuff that is less fun. Day 44 started with me gathering obsidian, and then later on I finished 2 more boss Rexes. And then of course I had to go level them up. And when I got back it was already day 45. I also crafted another vault and placed it down. And then I went AFK staring at my industrial forge. After probably taking a poo, I farmed up a stone drop trap. And then I went into the snow biome to look for high level UDs. But for some reason finding a high level UD is very hard, so I just decided to settle on the first one I saw. But I then killed it in hopes of finding a better one. Probably the best way to tame a UD is with a Quetzal. The next day I tried taming a UD in a pretty strange way. But while I was trying to lead it to the trap, I accidentally killed it. Later on in the day I found a level 15 and couldn't care to find a better one, so I just tranked it out the old-fashioned way. Day 47, it tamed, I brought it home, made a saddle, and then tried leveling it. And that's literally all I did, I just leveled the UD all day. What I was actually doing is preparing to go into the easy underwater cave, as it is about time to go there. On a high level 2, so this cave was pretty much just a playground, but there were a few scares. I killed all the things in the artifact room and collected what was rightfully mine. Well, Helena was telling me about Tusos. I found this drop.
Is a terrifying opponent for several.
I think I'm gonna be using that weapon for a long time. Well anyways, I went home knowing that I now collected the most dangerous artifact I have to collect. I made a bunch more metal arrows and tested out my new weapon. My main mission for the next few days was just to get all the boss preparations over with, so how about a huge montage? Day 55, I got a bunch of stone and made a bunch of cementing paste. And I also went out to get some oil. And now with all the needed resources complete, I made an industrial cooker. I made it so I can start making medical brews, which are very useful, but this thing drains my water supply. And because of that, I made some metal water tanks, which are much better than the stone ones. And then I decided I was gonna try and beat the beta version of the spider and the monkey at the end of this video, so I started gathering some tributes. Day 58, I finally finished gathering all the tributes I need to summon both the bosses on beta level, and here I'm trying to tame a Daedon. Taming the Daedon didn't go so well because I got UD Reward and then the Daedon just magically disappeared. Well anyways, I found it after a while and tamed it. I'm not trying to use the Daedon in the boss fight, but I'm gonna try and use it to heal the dinos in between boss fights. I had this Rex in my inventory for a while now, so I killed it to free up the slot. If I want to bring a full team to the boss fight, I'll need at least 20 cryopods, so I made some more. I wasn't able to make enough, so I killed some ducks for organic polymer and then crafted the rest at the green obelisk. And then I found this awesome golden drop. And guess who I found? It's my old pteranodon that I left at the beach to die. And for some reason I didn't decide to bring it home, but I found some beaver dams. Day 60, I remembered that I have actually never seen a Giga before, so I looked at the last place I knew of. I managed to find a Carcharodontosaurus, which is the newest creature to be added to ARK, and it shares Giga spawns. Because I'd never tamed one before, I thought it'd be fun to try it. So how you tame these things is a little bit weird, because what you have to do is you have to feed it dead bodies, so it becomes friendly towards you, so you can ride it and then start killing more stuff. But obviously, just like any other tame in this game, players have already found a way to cheese it. Really, the only time I've ever seen someone tame it was in a Syntac video. But like, your boy can be trusted. Syntac is a honorable man. He would never lie. Surely. I have a pretty good taming rate, so it won't be that difficult riding it once it has the friendship meter. Ooh, I didn't account for that. Are they gonna push it off the mountain? And push them off the mountain I did. It's killing everything. I don't know if I can bring it over here. Probably can't. I can bring it up here. That works. This would work. Going down the mountain, no. Please. Okay, there you go. Good, good, good. I think it can one-shot me if it wants to. Jesus. Oh, it's falling down. Are you kidding me? It fell down the mountain and managed to get stuck, so now I have to go back to my base and form another trap. Day 61 and the first trap I tried didn't work. But because I am just so smart, I brought a second trap. After only a few minor difficulties, it actually worked. Okay, it's in. Okay, cool. We got it. We fully got it. That's a good placement. Yeah, it's in. Alright, what do I do now? I kill that mammoth. Nope, too late. And now I'd like to hand over the mic to recording Spidey. Damn, that was a good shot. I want to feed it the pig. The pig, that's not a pig. What do I do? So I grab something, right? And then it's gonna sniff if I come close. Right? It does. Dude, it looks like a bull. Is it male or female? Okay, here you go. Eat it and run! It's not gonna eat it, is it? It's too far. So it turns out the Karcha broke. I don't know how. It just broke. It decided to no longer want to eat anything. And I tried for multiple days, but I eventually got it. You either move or I'm gonna force tame you, but I don't want to force tame you because then you're gonna lose levels. See, that's like my dilemma. You know what I mean? I guess the best thing I can try is give myself more gates. Okay, there's the trap. It's out of render distance now. Is it gonna phase through? No, it's still trying to get there. I don't... Why is it... Oh my... It ate! Okay, it's working. Wait a minute. It works. If I go out of render distance when something's in front of it, it eats it. What? Come on. Give me... Thank you. Oh wow, that's gonna take a long time. I'm gonna drop this real quick. I don't need it. Alright, it works. I finally found out how it works. Oh my god. So I drop something in front of it, go out of render distance, and then it eats. Alright. Cool. Okay. But why does it go down so quickly? Okay, you gonna eat? Yeah! Okay, is it gonna increase? Hell yeah, okay. No, my Pteranodon! It's gonna... Okay, you're being fed next. You are being fed next. Hey, I got some crispy bacon. You want it? Don't ask me where I got it from. Totally wasn't your neighbor or something. Next door neighbor. No, it was never. Let's hope my shield doesn't break. It's gonna tame after this. 100%. Well, not tame. It's not gonna tame, but it's just gonna, like, friendship meter, you know? Okay, one more. I got just enough. I think. Okay, no. I almost thought it ate the RG. Okay. Gimme now. I need it. I need to kill a few things. Here. Please work. One last time, work. Yes! Yeah! Oh my god. I am so excited. Okay, you follow me. I have way more than enough time to get this done. I just can't see anything. Don't tell me the stamina situation is the same thing as with the Giga. And it's gonna tame. Yeah! No! Really? No, stop! You idiot! I got the strongest... I mean, I like the Carch more than the Giga, because it has a lot more... It can do a lot more stuff than the Giga. It has so many more mechanics. Really the only reason why I would possibly ever need this is for meat farming. Day 63, I made the Carcharodontosaurus saddle and took it for a spin. But first, I'm gonna open this red drop. More. Oh my god! No, it costs so much. But it's... Oh my god. Really, game? I realized I was able to make the saddle, but only in an Argentavis. But first, I took on Carno Island. Damn. Yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. And yes, I still stand by my decision that the Carchas are more fun than Gigas. And that is because they are. Period. There's one thing that I haven't considered, and that is when I live between two mountains and I kill or tame a Carcha or a Giga, it might spawn next to my base, but luckily the Giga spawns somewhere else. Beautiful. First off, it's red. That's awesome. Okay, I guess I know what to do now. Look how much time I still have. That's a lot of time. That's 35 days still. Yes, okay, I don't look like an idiot. 35 days is way more than enough to tame a Giga, get all the saddles, get all the Rexes. Actually, maybe not the saddle part, because... For the saddles, I might need to tame a Therizino. A Ascendant Diplo saddle. Oh, a pike. Can I craft that? Yeah. While looking for a Therizino, I managed to find 4 beaver dams. That is a lot of cementing paste. I'll come back and get it. This was a relatively low-level Therizino, but the only thing I needed it for was to farm fiber. One of those Rex saddles costs 2,000 metal ingots, 15,000 hide, and 8,000 fiber. Which didn't seem like a lot to me, but that is a lot. Day 65, I made a Therizino saddle and then started farming all the fiber I need. And then I took out my Carch to hopefully farm all the hide, and this was some of the most fun I ever had. It took me the entire day, but I got about 19,000 hide, which I all took home. I decided to only make one saddle and give it to the highest level Rex, which I named Queen. And then I expanded my base a tiny bit to hopefully fit all the Rexes. But there was still a bunch of breeding I needed to do before I had the full 20. Day 67, I finally had all the resources to make the saddle. At this point, I really just wanted to get the Rex breeding over with. But I'm afraid the leveling and breeding is not gonna stop anytime soon. Day 68, I got so carried away that I almost missed some imprints. Breeding boss dinos will probably forever remain the most annoying thing in a 100 days challenge. I finally decided to hatch as many eggs as I still needed and then just get it all over with. But I accidentally made a Giga saddle. It's day 69 and I have nothing planned. That is kinda sad. I finally just decided to cryo all the Rexes. And then I got some more obsidian. And then it was imprinting time. My previous armor set didn't quite break, but it was very low durability because of what happened with the Carch. And then finally all of my lost Rexes finished. Now that all the boss fight preparations are done, I have 30 days to do whatever I want. So the first thing I wanted to do is make a better hatchery. But for that I had to move all of my water tanks and even the industrial cooker. was day 71 where I got done with building my new hatchery, and I kinda like this design. And I moved all the water tanks to the top of my roof. And then I farmed a lot of stone. Day 72 I went up to the volcano to farm crystal and obsidian. And then I waited for some metal to smelt. And that's it, that's the whole day. Day 73 I got some more oil because I appeared to have run out already. And then I realized I needed more space, so I made a roof above my hatchery. But then on the next day I finally had enough resources to craft the industrial grinder. And then I got convinced by another 100 days video to do something that I should have done way earlier. And that involves going back down to the easy underwater cave and setting up a bed and some storage boxes so I can farm the drops that spawn there. Hey, wait a minute. How is it day 7? I have genuinely no idea how that happened, but apparently it's day 77 now, so just act surprised. Well anyways, for the remainder of day 77 I felt confident enough to take on the other underwater cave, which is much harder. Even the entrance of the cave was cluttered with creatures. There was only a few Tusos and Moses sprinkled around every once in a while, and I eventually got to the artifact, but it took more than a day. Apparently my game crashed last time I logged off, so I'm now back in the cave and it is day 78. Oh well, the only thing I really lost was my time, and my precious flat chess piece. I grabbed the artifact once again and headed home. I put away some of my treasures and then finally made ammo for my pistol. And I finished off the day with a nice stone run. Day 79 I crafted a buttload of cementing paste. And then I once again flew out to get more oil. I returned home with only a very small amount because apparently I had already harvested all the oil. And then I went on my 50th obsidian run. On Scorched Earth you're practically forced to use organic polymer, so I'm already looking forward to that. The game seems to be mocking me because I can't tame a Tapejara. I am not taming one of those. Remember when I had to destroy my industrial cooker because I wanted to make a cool looking hatchery? I got it back. This proves that as soon as you get done breeding all your boss dinos and getting all the tributes, there's nothing left to do. Day 80, I for some reason really wanted to craft a rocket launcher. You probably noticed by now that the day counter is green instead of red or yellow, and that is because it's been changing color the entire time. I'd be genuinely surprised if you noticed it yourself. Rocket launchers are really expensive but really powerful, which I guess makes sense. Afterwards I made a bunch of dye and colored all my gear. Day 81 I tried making my base look better, but for that I had to use some peculiar Spider-Man tactics. Sometimes some railings is all you need. And then I went out on my Carcharodontosaurus for reasons I can't quite remember. I got to spend the entire day on my carch and found some beaver dams, so I guess it wasn't completely useless. Day 82 I was still on my carch and got the stupidest idea ever. I guess my reasoning for this was that I couldn't bring a carch to a boss fight, so I decided to bring the boss fight to the carch. Yes, I actually fought a Titanosaur, and after a long brawl I emerged victorious. That is probably the best strategy to waste 2 days of your time. Well, it's not like I need the time, I've already done everything I need to, now I'm just waiting. Day 83 I got this red drop. Yup, that is a 450% damage pump action shotgun. Oh, and there was another red drop close by. Yup, that is a 580% armor flak leggings blueprint. The game really wants me to tame a Tapejara, and I'm not going to do it. I don't know why the game decided to give me this luck at the very end of the challenge, but it is kinda sad. Like, does it ever stop? And turns out I had enough resources to craft the leggings blueprint. Day 84 I crafted a new riot shield because the Carcharodontosaurus taming absolutely destroyed mine, and I also made shotgun bullets. At this point nobody knows what to call them. Are they called Carch, are they called Carcharo, or are they called Carcharodontosaurus? I guess we'll never know. I think I found the perfect spot to test out all my new gear at. The cave for the artifact of the Skylord is personally one of my favorite because of how much fun you can have inside of it. The cave is really small, really cold, and filled with bats and bottomless pits. I definitely recommend a rocket launcher for this cave, and also a grappling hook. If you're a true 100 Days fan, you know the legend himself, Zany Zebra, died in this cave, so I was extra careful. I didn't even drop down here while collecting the artifact. He flies away home. realizing he just spoiled the end of Zany Zebra's 200 days for many people. Day 85, I tried using my beds to get some drops from the underwater caves, but there wasn't any. Little did I know this was foreshadowing of what's to come. Because I had a lot of time to waste, I decided to fly out to the ocean and spend some days down there. This is kind of boring, not gonna lie. I don't know, pheromone darts doesn't seem like a very well implemented feature. Because nobody uses them. But they are fun. They're definitely fun. But I haven't used them yet, because I keep on forgetting. Why can't I see palm trees? Oh my god, there's a lot of these things here, huh? Ah, here you go. Finally decide to fight. Like a man. Look how much bigger it is. Yeah, that's absolutely pathetic. Oh, it's gonna ink me, no! Don't ink in my face. Got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna step up real quick. Because I can't see crap. Okay, cool. It drained all my stamina in a matter of seconds, but this is what I was after. A really good fishing rod. And also, that's a lot of absorbent substrate. That's gonna be very useful for... Why are you breathing like that? Bro. Also, I could have sworn there was an item called an Alpha Tusoteuthis beak. But apparently it's just the eye. I swear to God there was an item that was... I swear to God that was a thing. That was a thing, right? I'm not crazy. And just so you know, that item does apparently not exist. But like, I remember seeing it somewhere. Like, I fully do. Oh yeah, there it goes. We got some cool stuff. We got firework, rocket launcher firework skin. Ain't no way I can actually use that. And yes, that was literally the only notable thing in this entire day. Ding 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 ding. Day 88, I did absolutely nothing. Day 89, I will be heading off to do the boss fight, so this will probably be the last time I'm gonna see all of this. Before arriving at the blue obelisk, I opened another red drop and found another Tapejara saddle. Game, I am not taming one of those. Today was mainly me realizing that I'm gonna need a lot more time to heal up all these Rexes. What have I done? I decided to briefly set my dino healing rate to 500 so I could heal up all my Rexes and still have time to repair something for day 100. And no, I don't count this as cheating because if I didn't do this I would have run out of time. Well anyways, enough fooling around, it's time to fight the Beta Megapithecus. And that's it. We won the challenge. There is literally nothing left to do now, except for just prepare something for day 100. So that's what I did for the next few days. I just waited for day 100 to come and prepared for it. I know this might seem a little bit crazy, but for the next 9 days, all I did was wait and prepare. So if that's alright to you, I'll just skip to day 100. So yeah, I feel like I'll just get done with this and then move on to Scorched Earth. So how I will do this entire challenge now is I'll just play 100 days and see how far I can get. Is that a red drop? With the ultimate goal of seeing if my skill increases. Because I will play with the exact same rates. Oh, it's just coming down. I don't think I can get that. Wait, is it already there? Nah. I'll play with the exact same rates, and I will just, like, keep on playing every single map, like the Island to Genesis 2, and then ultimately see if my skill has increased. So here's everything we managed to do in 100 days. We moved further inland, we beat the ocean, like we mastered the ocean, we got enough stuff to beat 2 beta bosses and beat those beta bosses, we got 2 dragon artifacts, we got all of the industrial structures, and we tamed the Carcharodontosaurus. That is a lot of stuff. And we survived 100 days. That has got to be something. I am genuinely proud of myself. Like, I enjoyed every second of this, except for the last few days that I had to wait. So, yeah. I feel like this was all worth it. And, obviously, I didn't try to beat the map at all. But at least I tried, you know? Like I said, this is about increasing my skill at the game. Not trying to beat the game. It's about trying to increase my skill. And I feel like it's worked. It's definitely worked. Comparing this run to the last run, like, way better. This is it. Day 100. Oh man. I enjoyed every second of it. I genuinely did. If you like... If you go back and see what I did, I really had a plan. Kind of. I kind of had a plan. I knew what I was doing, and I want to grow on that. I want to really become a really good ARK player at the end of this. So, there's not going to be any 200 days. There will just be 100 days part 2. So I will go a full cycle of every map, and just see if my skill increases. And it's definitely gotten way better, like I said. The last run, I only managed to tame a Giga at like day 116, and I tamed a Carch on day like 62, I think. So, much better. Much better on the Carch taming front. Also way better on the boss beating front, like last time I tried beating the beta broodmother on like day 123 and I almost died. So that's way better. I also conquered the ocean really quickly, which I never thought I'd do. And I also beat my first 2 ever dragon caves. Wow. That is actually awesome. And so is this game.